and welcome back. Sorry, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. Oh, and before we dive into today's key, which is Juan coming? Of course not. Juan Dixon has been fired, terminated, let go as head basketball coach at Coppin University. As we know, he has been embroiled in a lot of scandal. So let's first read the press release. This is from CBS News, and then we'll get into more of the backstory and why I think he's being fired now rather than having been fired before, okay? So this says Coppin State University parts ways with basketball coach Juan Dixon. After 6 seasons as head basketball coach, Juan Dixon is out at Coppin State University. Dixon told Stadium's basketball analyst Jeff Goodman the news of his departure. The former Maryland Terrapin star was named head coach at Coppin State back in 2017 after serving as head coach of the University of the District of Columbia's women's basketball team for 2 seasons. Over Dixon's tenure, the Eagles amassed a record of 51-131 overall, including a 923 record this past season. I don't know anything about basketball. I'm guessing that's good. In fact, Coppin State won the MEAC regular season championship with Dixon at the helm during the 2020-2021 season, the school's first since 2003 to 2004. As a player, Dixon led the Maryland men's basketball team to the school's first national championship in 2002. The school will now look to hire the 8th head coach in its men's program history. So Juan's been fired. All right. A couple of things. One, I think he's fired because of the lawsuit that's going on. You know, as we know, he has been named and implicated in a sexual assault lawsuit. One of the students is alleging that they were catfished and, taken advantage of sexually. And then when they reported it to the school, Juan Dixon, according to the student, did not protect him, did not, tell the higher ups, didn't do his due diligence to protect the students. And instead, he was complicit and also participated in an active cover-up, according to the lawsuit, according to the student. So we know that that's going on. I'm sure that they do not want the extra pressure from the fact that he's on the Real Housewives of Potomac, all of that coming to light and playing a part in the lawsuit. The higher profile someone is, usually the more pressure, the more eyeballs are on something. I'm sure they didn't want that. Not to mention the new cheating and scandals that's come out with Juan. First it was the alleged Canadian mistress, the woman who came out and she spoke to Giorgio Says, and she basically said Juan and his friends like to go out and find women and girls to pass around sexually. And when I was in town, his friend came to my hotel room, inappropriately sexually exposed himself non-consensually, and it made her so freaked out, she stopped messing with Juan altogether. So that allegation came out. Also, don't forget, within that allegation, either Juan or Robyn and Giselle came up with the idea to blame it on a Ravens player. Is Ravens basketball or football? I don't know. But I'm also like, well, why are you throwing another team in the situation? Why are you throwing another name out there to try and cover up for Juan stuff? That could be a little sticky. Saying somebody else in the league is responsible for it. That's putting that whole team on blast. Who knows what happens behind the scenes? I don't think the Knicks are saying the Lakers are doing this and this and that. That could be something too. So there's the allegation of that. And then don't forget, a couple of weeks ago, another thing came out. When, in my opinion, I thought that this was I thought it was bad optics, but I thought it was innocent. we saw Juan at the laundromat with, another person who works, another female faculty member from Coppin, and they were doing laundry. And she was like clapping back on Instagram, like, get a life and all this stuff. And we're just doing laundry. And it's like, well, maybe you were just doing laundry, but maybe you also want to think about the optics of what that looks like. You're already embattled in a sexual assault lawsuit with students and faculty at Coppin. You've already been, played the hell out on these streets, about your cheating and everything else. Maybe it's not the best look to be like cuddled up and buddied up with another female employee just out like that. Because my biggest question was, why aren't they doing laundry on school premises? Like, why are you going out and about to do laundry? Wouldn't they have those facilities on campus? I could be wrong. Universities are different. But I would just assume if they have a locker room that they probably have, laundry facilities on the school property. That was my only question. Who knows? But yeah, Juan has been fired. I also think that a part of the backlash has been what we've been seeing before with Robyn and the whole sit down she did with Andy Cohen and her whole whack podcast, Reasonably Shady with Giselle, and the whole Patreon. Like, they really became like not hated, because hate is such a strong word. And I don't like, this is reality TV. I don't hate anybody, obviously. But they got so much heat for that I feel like Coppin was kind of like, is keeping Juan on doing our university a disservice. He is implicated in the lawsuit, right? He has all these cheating allegations, right? Because even if those guys, any type of, guys like that, whether it's an executive, whether it's a business, whether it's an entrepreneur, whether it's a head coach, sure, behind the scenes, they might be dipping it and doing it, but they love the front. Like a Michael Darby, right? They like the front. They like the persona of being this family man. So it's when your dirt comes to light, they don't like it. Not that you're doing the dirt, but that the dirt is in the light. They want the front. And clearly his front was whack as hell. So, Okay, let's see what you guys are saying. Hey, Steve C. Steve C says, even if he had nothing to do with any of these things, it is definitely the optics that any college is not going to want to have any faculty member. Exactly, Steve. It's the optics. It's the optics of the entire thing. What really got me the most out of all of the allegations, maybe because I'm a woman, but it was when I hate calling her a mistress because I really just think it was the girlfriend. When his Canadian girlfriend came out and was like, yeah, him and his friends go to find girls and women to pass around sexually, and his friend exposed himself to her, that's when I was just like, Juan, you want some next level stuff. Like the whole quote cheating on Robyn, I'm like, they're not cheating. They're not in a real relationship. I don't think this is real. It's obviously for the cameras. It's for show. But it's the optics of it. What university wants to have lawsuits, reality TV people following them around, their faculty being harassed? The girl, the laundromat, I don't think anything was going on with her and Juan, but she can't even do her job without being harassed. It's just not a good look, How the hell says Robyn better be selling her hats? I mean, I don't know who's getting those embezzled hats. And what businesses is Robyn talking about? Is she flipping houses anymore? She's not doing PR anymore. Because remember when Robyn first came on the show, she was doing PR. She had her own she was like her own little publicist PR company, but I don't know what she's doing anymore with that. She better hope she still gets this little Bravo check, or else she's not demoted to a friend of or fired for her little Patreon stunt and lying and getting up there on Watch What Happens Live like a damn fool. I didn't even review part 3 of the reunion because I was just like, this is just hogwash. It would just be saying the same thing over and over again. Robyn is a liar. Robyn is a hypocrite. Giselle is a liar. Giselle is a hypocrite. Ashley is a liar. Ashley is a hypocrite. Candace is saying, wah, wah, wah. It just would have been the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. We already know justice for Chris, justice for Karen, Quiet is kept, justice for Wendy, me as a wackadoodle. Like, it was just be the same thing over and over again. And I honestly couldn't even stomach watching Robyn lie. Like, she took zero accountability. It was like disgusting to watch. I had to that's why I've been doing Vanderpump in Beverly Hills, because I was like, I need something new right now. It was just too much. It was too much. It was too much. Steve C says, how the hell she better start bedazzling a machine of her own, since she may have lots of extra time if they demote her. Yeah. Yup. What are they going to do? He's now fired. I wouldn't be surprised if she's demoted or fired. And if she's a friend of, she's not going to make that check the way she used to. And obviously, when she was talking about that little fake and phony prenup with their fake and phony marriage, because we have yet to see an actual certificate, when she was saying she was the breadwinner, she was talking about that Bravo check. She wasn't talking about Reasonably Shady podcast. She wasn't talking about her bedazzled hat. She was talking about that Bravo check. The same way when Lisa Rinna got fired, she said, I'm going to miss the most the steady income, because I think she's been the breadwinner with that Bravo check. Because some of the housewives, usually the ones who spiral the most, who are the most thirsty, who deflect the most, who lie the most, who connive the most, are the ones who need the checks the most. But then they also turn out to be the ones who are hiding the most, when you really look at it. Because the ones who don't really need that Bravo check, sure, they might want the fame, but they don't really need that Bravo check. They're not scheming and scamming the way a lot of these other ones are. You know what I mean? But yep, Juan Dixon has officially been fired and terminated as the basketball coach. Now, my question is this. I wonder what implication this will have on the lawsuit that he is now implicated in. Because that can go two ways, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. One is he now thinking, unless they made him sign an NDA, okay, let's say there's no NDA. Is he now thinking, you know what? You fired me. I'm going to spill the beans. I'm going to cut a deal with whoever is prosecuting this lawsuit. I'm going to go to them and I'm going to say, you know what? This is actually what I know. This is actually what happens at that university. This is actually went down. And it wasn't just with this student. It was with this student and this student and this student. Because I promise you, that poor boy who had the bravery and the strength to tell on them was not the first. And quiet as it's kept, he's probably not the last. I don't think that they started with this boy. You see what I'm saying? It's systemic. They had a whole situation going. So I wonder if Juan's going to be like, well, you know what? You cut me loose. I'm going to go cut a deal. I want to get out of here. I don't want to be implicated in this lawsuit. I don't want anything to do with it. I'm going to go and tell. I'm going to go and squeal. I'm going to rat you out to get out of this. I wonder if he's going to do that. Or on the flip side, is the university going to have Juan be the fall guy? It was all Juan. It was on his responsibility. He never told us. We didn't know what happened. It was him. He was the bad guy. The student confided in him and he never ran it up the chain. So we didn't know. It's all him. And you should drop the lawsuit because now he's gone. We got rid of the quote bad apple. We got rid of like the bad player. You know how they like to do that, right? When there's like a whole system that's corrupt, they just say, oh no, the system isn't corrupt. It's one bad apple. They could do that too. So there's a lot at stake with this. Okay. And stick around, Candy Cane. So I'm going to take some of your Candy Cane questions and comments. Hold on, stick around, Candy Canes. I want to take some of your questions and comments. But before we do that, you know what to do. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because the key is always better with community. And check out the description box down below and